Hello, and welcome to Excel Basics, brought to you today by the Mobile Public Library. Excel is the Office spreadsheet component tailor-made for performing calculations on your data. If you need to analyze sales, calculate budgets, figure out loans or stock information, or compare two financial situations, Excel is the program for you. Excel is a blank workspace or worksheet that is laid out with grids in a grid form with columns and rows. There are 256 columns, and they are identified by the letters and start with the letter A and end with XFD. The rows are identified by numbers, and they start with the number 1 and go down to 1,048,576 rows. The coordinates of the cell is identified as is how the cell is identified, and that is actually called the address or the reference. So A1 is the reference number or the reference for this particular cell, and it is identified in the name box. By clicking another cell on the spreadsheet, you move your active cell to that reference, and that reference that I've selected is D2, highlighted again by the column and the row number, and where they coordinate, that's the active cell that you're in at the moment. When you originally open up Excel, it gives you one sheet. Down here at the bottom, you have sheet 1, and you're allowed to add additional sheets, as many as needed, by clicking on the addition sign here and getting new sheets. And each sheet will have the same amount of columns, again from A to XFD, and it would also have the same amount of rows, 1 all the way down to 1,048,576 rows. So when you go to save your worksheet or your workbook, it will actually save as a workbook, even if it's one sheet or 80 sheets. So however many sheets you have, just like in the regular Microsoft document, it saves as one entire collection, and Excel names that as a workbook. The next thing we're going to talk about is the bars across the top of your spreadsheet. You have the name box that we spoke about. Then you have your insert function box, and that is just used to assist you with finding functions really quickly, or help you find functions you're not quite sure of really quickly. And then you have your formula bar. Your formula bar will show you everything that you're typing in the cell. There are multiple ways to move around in Excel. You can use your mouse and click on any cell that you want to type in, or you can use the tab key on your keyboard to move to the next cell to the right. If you want to go to the cell under where you are, you will use your enter key. The arrow keys on your keyboard will also allow you to move in any direction that you choose. As long as you do not have your cursor inside of your cell, you'll be able to use your arrow keys. Once the cursor is located inside that cell, your arrow keys will not move you outside of that cell, but it will move you inside of anything that you type in that cell. So if you need to go in and make a correction, you could make sure your cursor is in the cell and erase anything that you need using your arrow keys or your backspace. When you are typing in a cell, the words that you use will always align to the left. However, if you type numbers in your cell, once you're done and move to the next cell, you'll notice that your numbers are aligned to the right. If your number starts with the number 0, the Excel program will drop the 0 because there's no value to it. Also, the numbers are right aligned because most of the time when we do math from right to left, and we read left to right. This Excel spreadsheet already have 5 columns filled, and we're going to go in and kind of make some corrections and make this more eye appealing. If you notice, we have in column A, we have job numbers, column B are customers' names, C is date completed, D is wood, and E is the invoice amount. And all of this information is not fitting completely in the cell. The way we would go about changing that is you can go in and actually put your mouse cursor on the little divide. Put your mouse cursor here on the dividing line in between A and B. And when you get this little thick double-sided arrow, you can double click and it will automatically adjust the column width to the longest row in the entire column. And it's going from row 1 all the way down to row 576. So all the way down, no matter where it is, it's going to find the longest line and make that adjustment. Another way to adjust your column is to put your cursor in between the divider, left click and hold it down, and move it to the right and change the width that way. And if you notice, there is a little box that shows you the width and the pixel, and that way if you wanted all of them the same size, you can note what that width is and then go in and change each column to that particular width. I like to do the automatic adjustment. That way it's not, I don't have to go back and move it later once I'm working in a different area. Now, if you notice here in column E, it looks like in the word amount is going over into column F, but it actually is not. It is still only in cell E, or the reference cell E1. And that way, when you actually click in F, you'll notice that there is nothing up in the formula bar for F1, but when you go to E1, it is actually there. So once you do your automatic adjustment, it will make everything actually appear in cell E1. Now, one of the other things I wanted to note to you that normally, if over here where we're looking in column A, we have job numbers, and they show numbers and the letter A, and some of them are just numbers. Normally, if a 0 is in front of a number, the Excel is programmed to drop that 0 because it has no value. But because A is behind each one of these numbers, the program is actually reading this information as just text, and that the numbers themselves have no value, so the 0 will stand. So one of the ways we're going to go in real quick and change and make all of our job numbers align together. So you can go in and highlight starting in reference cell A2 and take it down to A22. And you can go in, a lot of people like to use the alignments and just left align, center, or right align. But one of the, it still will show that the A2 will have no value, but A3 will have value, A5 will have value. All of the ones that are just numbers excuse me, will show as having value. And to change that, we'll go here to our alignment cell or pane, and then click on our little additional box here, get our format cells box. We're going to go over here to the where it says numbers and go down to the word text. And when we do that, it shows that the text format cells are treated as text even when a number is in the cell. So we're going to go down and click OK. And then now everything is going to be left aligned because we treated it as text. Alrighty. Our customer's last name is fine. We're going to leave that there. And if you'll notice that over here we have all of our dates that the work was completed, and some of them actually they have different formats. Again, we can go in over here to our numbers cell. I'm sorry, this time we'll go to the numbers pane and get our cell format cells box. We're going to go down to the word date. You have a list over here of all the different dates that you can choose from. I like to choose the one that have the day of the week in there, and that way we can actually add that in. The computer will put that in for you. And once you click OK, we get this. We get all these number signs, and what that is saying is because it is there's too much information in this to put in this cell, so they just give you in the space allotted. So once we go back up here and we double click to get the opening, to get it to adjust automatically, it will automatically adjust. We're going to put that comma after the 6 down here because the computer was not reading it as a date because that comma was missing. We're going to go ahead and hit the enter key and it automatically switches because we adjusted it earlier. So real quick, we're going to go jump over here to our total and let Excel show an example of what Excel does. This is the invoice amount. We're going to highlight all of our invoice amounts, go over here to numbers, tell it that we're dealing with currency, make sure we have our decimal places, our dollar amount, and identify how we want our negative numbers to look if we were to have a negative, and then select that. Now everything is looking as if it is a actual dollar amounts. We're going to go to where we want our sum to total. Then we go over to our, let's see if I can get this to go up just a little bit. We're going to go over here to our auto sum button that's over here on the right hand side of the screen. And actually click on the word auto sum or the little icon, which is for auto sum, the French Greek E. And once you click on that, it's going to put the formula to calculate the sum in the box, and it's showing you equal sign, which means we're doing a formula, the word sum, and then the little dancing dotted line is going around everything that it is going to add up. It's giving you the reference numbers E2 colon E23, which means it's going to add up everything within that range, E2 through E23, and it gives you your total here. For additional information on how to go further with Excel, we are going to ask you to go to our website, go into our e-resources, go to our research databases. You can do databases A through Z. Go to the U and Universal Classes. Connect now. And this will allow you to take multiple classes. Excel is one of those that are offered. You just need your library card, which is available at the Mobile Public Library online website, where you can get temporary library cards to access this website. Thank you for watching and have a wonderful day.